I'm obsessively collecting others' memories, and I don't want them anymore. Because
I have goosebumps. I have goosebumps right now.
And it's almost become like the installation work that I do has become almost obsessive hoarding to try to collect someone's memories that people are throwing away. So I don't claim to be a good steward of the memories because I use glass and wax and it breaks and it changes. I never use the same piece in the same way when I show it, and it's usually like if something rips, then I just reimagine it and just like the whole cliche of memories changing and everything.
Yeah,
like that.
I think that's a cliche though. Like I think that's a really
Yeah.
interesting thing to be sort of touching on and exploring is like how do they change for us? How do they change when somebody else interacts with
Right.
them? How do they change when other people put their feelings onto them?
Right. Yeah, because each photo that I find, I've just recently bought on eBay like color photos that I haven't really used in my work, and
also a collector. I'll be walking around and I'll find something. I'm like, I could use this.
Yeah.
And take it. And I have a whole pile of stuff at home. And I feel like it's just really important. Like it's a really good therapy. Like I don't know exactly how to like say it. I just know that I have to make stuff. You know?
Yeah, it's like an instinct.
I have to make stuff.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
I had one of those like it was a couple months ago where I was like out in the woods and was like I need to make an art and I like got a piece of firewood and then like drew on it and then like painted over that and then like added more to it and then clay and built like this whole thing. I'm like I don't do any of these arts. Like this isn't my thing, but like built this whole piece. That was you saw the I don't know if you saw it in the house the owl.
Oh yeah,
that I have in the corner. This one's still wet. But these are some things that I've been working on here.
I like the little splatters.
Thanks.
The glass worked into it is really
It's a whole mirror.
Yeah.
It's a big mirror. And originally it had like a bunch of different like faces on it and it ended up all weird and I didn't like it, so I broke it into a bunch of pieces. One day, Arch was in the studio and I was like, Arch, I'm gonna break this mirror. Don't freak out. And I'm just like, it's art! Smashing the mirror. And so it's being incorporated into a bunch of different pieces too.
Yeah.
Oh, so you still have parts of the mirror.
It was a big like full length mirror.
Hey, don't eat the plant.
So, but yeah, then I mounted it to this board that I found in the studio. And
In the studio or the scrap pile? Looks like it's probably a scrap.
there was nothing on either side of it.
It's a weird shape.
I cut it that shape.
Oh, okay.
It was just a rectangle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, did you make it to fit that, or did you cut it?
This was a piece that I broke out, and I did kind of like cut pieces off, and like, so there's like a plasticky backing on the back of it that once you break the mirror, then I can just slice through it with a razor blade.
Oh.
So, and it's like oil paint on it.
Oh, okay.
And then like, I want people to like see themselves in it.
That's some of the work that I've been wanting to do too.
So like,
Yep.
and it's broken. Aren't we all?
But is it broken though? Or is it put together? Do you know?
thank you.
You just flopped right down.
And then
She's a flopper.
I actually brought this one. I can't decide if I'm done with it yet or if I need something.
This one?
Which one?
This one. The moon, I'm done with.
Okay.
But that one, I can't tell.
Look at
I
it
would
in
like
the daylight.
I have it all day.
You have all day today?
Yeah. I would like some feedback on it.
Well, what was your like intention for it?
Most of that I made with my foot.
Wow.
That's
like don't
You gonna bring him over here to hang out?
It was like
That's awesome.
paint on a rag, and then I just like smushed it all around. And then the X's were actually footprints from my Vans that I
I made them, more like pronounced.
Would you want like the viewer to know that it was your feet? Because then you could do like just more like.
I like the warmth
shape.
in it.
I really like it as it is.
I know, that's what I'm thinking. It's just hard for me to decide when to be done with something, and I think that's my problem.
We always told once that art is never done; it only stops
Yes.
in interesting places. So like,
Yeah.
just leave it in the interesting place.
And I have, a bunch of things that I'm like, I don't know when to stop. I don't know when to keep going.
I think it's hard. Like when to stop with photography, like when to stop editing is fucking hard.
What phase is this on right now? Is it the love it or hate it stage?
I like it.
Ugh. Then it's not done.
That's not the way I
Wow. Bam.
Because you have to have that cliff and you have to have that pause right before you jump off the cliff.
Yeah.
And
like
then,
this one,
yeah,
I
absolutely.
had this whole idea for the mirror. I saw it in my dreams, and then it didn't turn out how I wanted it.
Right? Yeah.
And that's the process.
Absolutely.
But now,
oh my gosh.
But now I love it again.
Yes.
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 So,
I love this.
Thank you.
So-
It is like 5 feet by 5 feet. And it's a double backed, so it's plywood on the back and then canvas on the front. And so then there's a pagining through it. It's at my friend's house right now. Wow. I did these giant, these giant pieces. I like working really big.
Yes.
So it's hard. I think what's different for me here, I think what's been challenging is that, I only brought smaller canvases. I can't fit giant canvases in my car and on my side.
Right.
So, I'm like, I don't have every single thing that I have in my home studio.
Do you feel like when you work with larger pieces, you're able to translate your body?
Yes, because I can that's my arm.
Yeah.
Instead of
Yeah. It's there's a dance.
yes, it's the movement within it, and
Yeah.
we were even talking about this. The bending to palette to whatever. It's a whole. It's like your whole body. It's your whole being.
Mm-hmm.
And I think being able to embrace that and encourage other people to embrace that as well. That's why I like teaching adults how to make stuff, because nowadays a lot of adults are I'm not good at anything. I can only draw stick figures. And I'm like, okay, then draw the best damn stick figures of your life.
Studies
I've got her.
At
I've got
what
her.
age do people stop saying, if you ask the
stepping on her.
average 7, 8-year-old, they say they're creative.
Yes.
And by the
Okay.
time you ask,
That was great. Yeah.
thanks, John.
Fernie.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Guys,
Come here, baby. Come here, Fern.
it's
Thank you for
nice
talking about your art.
Oh my gosh, it's nice actually. I miss talk and miss doing
Yeah.
Fern, come here, baby.
Yeah, when you ask an 8-year-old, they say they're creative, and I think it's about 14.
Fern.
Kids start saying that they're not creative, and it's what's
And it's not-
happening
it's not
between
them,
these
it's-
years? No, it is not the person.
It's society telling them
Right.
that they're not, or
Yeah.
parents, or anything. And I think a lot of
I think the shift is when in school it stops being we're making art for the fun of making art, and it starts being graded.
Yeah,
It's
the
when
grade
that,
is the grade is the killer. Yeah, I agree.
Really, the transition
Yeah.
from
And
arts and crafts time to this is sketching and
Right.
painting.
Yeah.
Class.
I know, it's critiques.
It's
and,
critiques.
So I have a thought.
What's your thought?
I think it'd be interesting to take some of your collage concepts and integrate it into that without being
a big collage.
overly done. Yeah.
I will think about it.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say about the little cards.
Yeah.
When I was looking at them and reading it, I sort of read it like a story, the molecules of life, and then it's facing transfer.
Oh yeah, those are the little cards, right? Those are the collages.
Living is inherently unstable and improbable.
Fern!
Safety of theory. I don't know. I just read it like a little story,
And
Like,
timeline,
went
they all
through
kind of
it.
match together.
Yeah,
Well, and
it's
they're all
beautiful.
from the same book.
Oh,
It's all one
Fernie.
big biology book
Baby.
yeah.
that I
love
found
it.
at a thrift store.
I really
Uh-huh.
love them.
Oh my gosh.
Thank
I
you.
love the images
That would
in
be
it.
such
They
a
were really
cute-
soft. Sometimes collage can feel really
Yeah, too.
disjointed and chaotic to me in a way that I don't like. Where these the colors and everything sort of blended in a way that was
Thank you.
really soothing.
Yeah, so I just put, Val used your idea when I put these on my Instagram. I took a picture with them in my hand like that.
Yeah. Nice.
This one's my favorite.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And a
they're
little frog.
fun. They're fun to make.
So see how you have these different shapes, right, of like your objects? I'm sure that maybe there's one or two things still in that book waiting for
I have a whole
life
pile of
on that
things.
painting there.
I have a whole pile of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could just
Or
be
even-
super simple.
Yeah, you could put paper on there, or you could collage with images in paint.
And writing at a very young age. And then I think I just learned how to translate that feeling that I was putting into poetry into other mediums. Whether it was illustration or guitar or singing or lyric writing or essay writing. I found ways that it could happen in so many different parts of my life. And I did competitive writing for all throughout middle school through high school, and it was actually really intense. I look at it now and I'm like, I could never do something like that again.
Yeah, what is competitive writing?
So basically what they do is it's short stories or anything under the category of short story. They're pretty loose they just give you a prompt pretty much.
Oh, okay.
There's like county, and then there's they divvy it up by districts. And there's like regionals and there's states and stuff, and you move like up to each tier. And they start at the smallest one, which I think is just like your county or your little city, town, zip code, whatever. And they put everybody in a room, all the competitors in a room, and they give you 45 minutes to write a short story, and they give you a prompt. And you have to write a short story in 45 minutes, and then you give it to these judges, and they look through it, and they determine who goes to the next round, and then the next round, and then they determine who goes to the next level.
It's so hard with art, though.
It's so subjective.
Subjective, and
Yeah.
it's just like there isn't a right answer.
I know. It is really subjective. I made it to states one year, and then it was like the furthest I had ever gotten, and then I didn't like win anything, and so I was like, oh man, I did so much work to get here, like for nothing. And then the next year they had the first like high school like competition like in the nation, and I won first place. And I wrote a story about the moon and the ocean being in love. I remember it so well.
That's
They were
so
lesbians.
Fanfic wins the day.
Exactly, right? And I so a lot of my childhood was like competitive writing and reading. I was mentored by a writing professor on the campus, Kent State's campus, from when I was 8 years old.
Wow.
And she she like published my work for me, and she basically like managed like all my writing like as a child, and like she had me like read at these readings and on podcasts and like do all this like media stuff, and
That's good practice.
yeah, it was really good practice, and like she still mentors me like to this day, and like I like always stress the importance of, I feel like, finding someone like older and like what in your practice and you're passionate, like, and all the things you're passionate about, because it's such a comfort.
They have in some of the books they talk about like your artistic champions and your artistic naysayers, and how to know both. Like, don't hand the work you're unsure of to your artistic naysayers. Like, if your dad's always shit talk your drawings, don't give it to your dad. It's gonna hurt. And like, and don't only have one artistic hero. Like, have a network of people that get excited for you and help. And that's, again, Patreon feels like this great space, and these people have paid to build me up. And like, it's so reassuring to like anything I put there. They're like, this is great. I'm like, thanks. Thank you. Like,
and so when I open conversations about my art, I really, really like to talk about my mentors, like, in my art, because I feel like they've really, I've had two like major ones throughout my life, which is the woman who has helped me since I was a little kid. And then the only other residency I did was when I was like 17, and they threw a bunch of young writers like in a cabin for like a week, and then they had these like published authors and stuff like choose a writer to mentor for the upcoming like couple of years. And I got this poet had picked me. His name was David Lee, and he's like a Pulitzer Peace Prize like winning poet, and like he, I think I talked about him before. I'm in love with him. He writes nature-based poetry, and he really just like helped me with observing the world as a writer. And because it's so easy when you're writing poetry to look at something and complicate it when it's like really about like the simple thing that's going on, right? Like yeah, so David Lee and Nicole Robinson, both poets who have mentored me and everything. And for art, like, I really love, like, I was such a comic book kid when I was growing up, and that's, like, really influenced me. I loved Calvin and Hobbes. That was my favorite.
I learned how to read on Calvin Hobbes.
Yes. My poetry. Hold the lamb of myself up to the moon. I bind you to pleasure me, to listen, to empower me. In this life I am the witch of the woods, bare-chested, running with wild boars so violently I lose my breath again and again. My lungs, their patience, their indifference. When my neck meets turquoise waters, my head holds tightly to hard feelings when it should be holding tighter to air. You didn't want me in this life. You wanted a capsule to help you sleep. Oh my gosh, I like stitched a couple of poems together. This isn't the original poem, but I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. A pill stuck in your teeth, dissolving in a glass by some bedside. I don't text first. I spit on fires to put them out. So only burned down trees know how my insides taste. And if you ask the earth, she'll say my spit tastes like the syrup of a fig. In this life, I was not granted the lily pads or ponds, although I am gentle, sparkled. What I truly am is a boy, carrying a confusion that makes me so heavy, it buckles my knees. So hold the lamb of myself up to the moon, for if I try... Oh, I'm sorry, this isn't the original poem. I, like, can't. I need to find it. I'm like...
For 15 years, I was a ballet dancer, tap and jazz dancer. So once I got more into art, then I started, like, incorporating dance into the artwork. And that came more... It was my junior year of college. During the summer, I was selected to do this project. I had to like give them a project proposal to the college, and then it was where I put my feet into different pigments, and I did ballet moves and like bar moves on paper and different canvases, and like the designs that I came up with in those drawings sort of influenced like the compositions that I used senior year for my senior project. But the college I went to in Connecticut was like very figurative based. So like we did a lot of classes with artist models and like still lives and stuff like that. And junior and senior year, that's when they sort of let the kids like go their own way and decide like what work they wanted to do. And so we did a lot of figure drawing. So like this is some of the stuff from in college. Did like a lot of artist models.
A lot of that heavy shadow.
Yeah, I like doing like high value contrasts, and like that's what I'm incorporating in my work today. This is like a big painting is of my friend Willow.
That's awesome.
This I studied abroad in Italy for a semester, and this
Where
was
in
like
Italy?
my bedroom, Prato. It's 20 minutes away from Florence.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really fun. I gained 10 pounds because I ate pasta.
So much pasta. So yes. Pasta and prosciutto.
Yes. So yeah, lots of figurative stuff. I like to get like sort of creepy and philosophical and whatever.
Ooh, I like that one a lot.
Thank you.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like stripes.
That looks like a piano.
A piano?
The stripes look like piano keys.
Oh, okay. I see that. See that. This one, it's soft pastels and then acrylic paint. This was when I like started first using acrylics. And I did oils a lot in school, and now that I'm out of school, I'm doing acrylics. Because like they dry faster, and I like how you could like layer them really quickly.
Oh my gosh.
So like lots of portraits.
Yeah, nice.
A lot of classes were figure classes. That was like in the beginning, freshman year, we were doing like still lifes and stuff.
Yeah.
So then, I'll show you guys some drawings. Let me go from the beginning. If it'll work. Come on. Okay. So this was
More
a
of
girl,
that
one of my
sharp
friends.
line work again.
Yeah, I did a lot of ballpoint pen drawings because like you could make very subtle like changes in value, and I think it really captures form well. So I started doing a series in ballpoint pen, and it was more surreal, where like I don't know, I was just like figuring out what I wanted to do, and I really liked this one. It's like upside down, like this is the normal hallway.
But you flipped him.
But I flipped the hallway and had him like right side up. These are just some more portraits. This one is Seance, and I did it in Italy, and yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Oh, I really liked this because I discovered how if you draw with pen, the ballpoint pen, on black acrylic paint, it's invisible unless like you put it in a certain sunlight, and then you could like in the light you can see the picture underneath. So that was a cool find. And then I did a couple of these where it was just like scribbles and flashes. So like the paper took on the object, you know, and I just like filled in the space. You know, this one reminds me of like the Iron Man thing.
Yeah.
I really like Iron Man. This one, is really big. It just took me a long time.
Are these
like
pens still?
yeah.
Damn.
What's the
Took a while.
sizing of like these pieces?
It varies. Like this one is 38 by 38.
Oh my
So they're
gosh.
pretty big.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like the process in and of itself, it was more important to me than like the end result here, because like I just put out effort and like, you know, energy into making just scribbles. This one is a big one, 52 by 28. One of my best friends died when I was young, and I like out of college or in college, and so I wanted to make like a tribute to him. He has like a really long neck, but like yeah, guardian. So then I started doing like long necks and lots of symmetry. I really liked this one. Traveler, so it's like alien-like. And then let's just go faster. Bunch of pen drawings. People. I liked this one because it was like I superimposed two pictures. So
Like double exposure.
yeah, but it's just like one drawing. Yeah, I'll just go fast. Thank you. This one was keys from my Aunt Titi. My great aunt, before she died, she would cut out these Love Is little newspaper clippings every day and like give them to me and my sister. So after she died, like I took a bunch of them, and then like she would also collect keys. So I made it into a little thing.
That's really cool.
Thanks. And like I used the clippings for this one too. And also for this one, I used the clippings.
The color in that is so bold.
Thank you. And then I started doing, I did a Drawtober last year, which is like a thing on Instagram.
Inktober.
There's Inktober, Drawtober.
Yeah, same.
So
Yeah.
they give you like
Prompts.
So this was like send in the clowns. So I did Heath Ledger as the Joker, as like a clown. And then this one was another one.
Wow.
Ooh. And this
Those
is
are
another one.
so complex.
Thank you. These ones are smaller. They're like this big.
That's beautiful. It's like a tarot card again. But
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, it could be a tarot card, kind of. Yeah.
These are awesome.
And then before I came here, I had some old sheet music, so I decided to draw some ballet dancers on top of the sheet music in charcoal. I don't really know why. I just do things sometimes, and
art for the sake of art.
yeah, and then some mountains, and then this is the stuff I did senior year and a little bit after senior year. I did a bunch of these things called reflective drawings where I used multiple layers of tracing paper or Duralar film, and I would draw two pictures, one slightly adjusted or like slightly off than other, and then I would put them on top of each other, and it made this really nice like ghostly image almost.
Ooh.
And it has to do with like memory, and my dad also had a stroke during this time, so like I like was going through a hard time, but so I made my senior show like a lot about my family, and we'll get to that part. But I took pictures of my family when they were young. Like I was looking at old photos, like that's my dad. These are more where the there's black acrylic and then pen on top, so you can only see the picture like when the light hits it, which I really liked. I don't know how you'd be able to show that to people like in a gallery.
They just have to notice.
If you had like two lights that shifted across it, so it's black, and then if you like sit and wait, it shifts to the other light and you see it. Would
That
be
would
like
be really cool.
you know, sort of patience to sit and wait and
Yes,
see what it's
time.
created, and
Yeah,
that'd
yeah.
be really cool.
Yeah. Maybe one day I'll get to do that. But yeah, these are from pictures of my family. I really wanted to like cherish the memories and like just I don't know, my dad and like his brother. So they're sort of about like fading away, and like you can tell like the edges are like sort of mirrored, so it's about like fractaling too. That's my mama. And that's my mom and her friend. I made this canvas and it took a while.
Yeah. Octagon?
I don't even know.
Yeah.
And
That's
then
cool.
I went to a residency in Vermont after college, and I like continued to do the old photos, but I started adding color to them because I was really like not into the black and white anymore. It was like depressing. I was like, I'm over it. I gotta do color. So like I didn't want to do just like, it was a black and white photo, so I was able to use my imagination to like put my own colors. So that's when I started going hard on the colors. And I made this one. And yeah, back to black and white, but that was like the last one, I think. So this was my room at home. Added some cool stuff. And then, so Spirits of the Land is what I started last year, which I got really like a lot more into outdoorsy stuff and hiking, and I wanted to like showcase figures in nature just to get people to like sort of
Go outside.
think about it. Yeah, and like go outside and like, you know, see these beautiful colors and realize like they're all around us. You can experience this, you know. So I started doing acrylic paintings and using like black and white or colorful stuff.
The like almost surrealism worked in too, which is really neat.
I didn't want to, like I have a goal where like, I don't really know what I'm saying right now. I'm just like so tired. But yeah, I don't want to just copy things. Like,
I love that one.
Thank you. I've really started enjoying like using my own imagination to like create my own world. You know,
well, like conveying the energy of the woods,
yeah.
You're like rather than like copy tracing from the model to the thing is like what's the feeling of this space.
Yeah. So I did lots of like these little ones, and
And you can still see some of the dance influence all the way through, which is wild.
Cool. Yeah, that's good. I did these were small, and these I did right before I came here, and I don't have my most recent one.
We saw it.
Yeah, you saw it. And then I'm working on another. So that's what I've been up to.
With all these moments. Wow, I haven't read this since I was probably like 6th grade. With all these moments, which grew, then picked, and all those who shut, snapped, raced across this time of floral grace, and those forgotten, left behind, a level of heart. And thee, who ripened my moments, then sweetened and baked as tender enough to eat, and those who greatened our moments and kneaded our bread, made such a difference.
Nice.
It's so good. Oh.
Nice. The way that you say it matters a lot.
Yeah.
Rhythm and flow. It's like your music.
Yeah.
So I've done. Our shoot today was we broke 35,000 photos since 2010 with that shoot. That was today. When I uploaded it, I saw it roll over, and I was like, "Hey!"
Oh my god!
150 models at least. It doesn't count any of my like stranger portraiture or that kind of stuff.
Wow.
Like 150 people where I know their names, but I do a lot of stranger portraiture, so like that's a lot. But I started photography because I had these like images in my head that I wanted to create. I wasn't very good with drawing, and I was like, I'll make them in reality and take a picture of it because it's easier. It's not easier. That's a lie. But it lets you think it's easier until you realize you're like chest deep in how to make art, and then it's a pain. But I kind of like fell into that and have been super focused on that for a long time. And then I've done a lot of like nature. We were talking about nature and people and sort of blending the two and giving this feeling of like exaggerating the nature through model portraiture. And like I can't stand what I call like model face or like any of that where it's just like yeah, and I don't do any Photoshop because I love the idea of that when you look at it you're
that's
like,
what you
that's
see.
what was there. The most I do is like a little color tweaking, a little bit of cleanup just to convey like the sunset felt even bigger and brighter, so I might tweak it to get a little of that out, but I try not to do too much. I spend about maybe 5 minutes. The shoot we did is already done. I'll send you.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
I don't spend long editing. It's maybe 5 minutes an image, and then I'll go over it again the next day and just double check. But I don't do a ton of that.
Saves time.
It's like I said. It's part of it is like I just like the more if you see images that have been really mucked with, your eye can spot it. Your brain sees something's off, and I don't like and like digital art is its own thing and it's glorious and wonderful, but is not what I wanted to capture. And then. I started doing some like found art creation stuff just out of bits of things, especially with traveling, just like picking up bits of nature and putting that together.
And then I want to start moving into some, like, more installation work. I have lots of ideas of, like, I want to make photography more, like, contact. Like, I hate the, like, here's the picture on the wall, look at the picture on the wall. I want to be, like...
How did that fabric come out? The fabric that came? Right?
It has not come in yet.
Oh, damn.
It is, Curse FedEx. It's like, it'll be here at some point, so...
Okay, well, give us your new address. We'll
It's gonna come with the book that Val sent.
I borrowed a
me,
book.
So
I'll have to send it
the
together.
little lending library of
Yeah.
Gertie.
Okay, well, hey, if you're already mailing a book, I'm not gonna try and finish that book tonight. Then I'm just gonna toss it in the package. I have like
the mushrooms.
this much left of it, like maybe like a couple, like one chapter.
Big Magic?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
We'll just
Okay,
send
I'll
a,
toss it in the package.
we'll just
toss
send
them
a,
all in and it's fine.
Yeah.
we'll send a box.
Yeah. Then we can give you some extra treats too.
Yeah, care package.
Yeah, I love the idea of being installation. So I had a big gallery show where I got a whole room to do what I wanted with, and that I built this like big tree out of paper and chicken wire and glitter, and hung my art. And then I put one of the shoots I did. I built these big, like almost angel wings out of pieces of broken glass.
Do you have any photos of the gallery?
The gallery,
Yeah.
not any great ones. But yeah, I built these like giant glass wings that you could like stand in front of and take a picture or whatever. Because I want like
Interaction.
and so like one of my dreams is to build like an entire forest that you like can explore, and then to hide the photography like behind trees and down. So you have to like go through this like enchanted forest to find the art. I think would be really fun.
Yes.
I want to do in my like when I'm a famous rich artist, I'm gonna have a show that's entirely takes place inside of a blanket fort. And have a
that's
gallery
fun.
exhibit that the only way to enter is to come in your pajamas, because I love the idea of convincing a bunch of New York socialites.
Yeah.
That they have to like, nope, you can't come in unless you're wearing your pajamas. Like, hide the art in the blanket fort and like, but like
That's great.
making art, like an artist sleepover. But I like the idea of like taking a traditionally kind of flat dimensional art style and finding ways to like pull you into it. I'm just gonna hand this around. I don't have a great. This is my the Patreon.
Yeah,
See if I can do
totally.
it.
I'll show you how to. You have to use a wrench to like turn the water off. But yeah.
My body hurts so bad. Yeah, this is not bad. So it's currently on galleries, and you can just like scroll through some of the like. The stuff on my website's a little bit older right now. But yeah, and I'm trying to work on. I want more inclusivity with like body shape and size and color and mobility, and like creating more space for like people of different bodies to also be magical and also be fairies and also like get to be part of that world, because I think it's really fucking important. And Val and I were talking about today, one of the things I don't really have an answer on yet, but I think about a lot is like how artists get sort of used in the process of gentrification, and how people who are trying to gentrify an area bring in artists to like do a mural or like join our gallery or whatever, and you start doing that, and then it like ups the value of the area, and it starts pushing out the people who live there and the artists, and like so like what is our social responsibility as artists, and how do we bring magic and art and beauty to places that should have it without then making it impossible for those people to stay. And I don't know. But I think opening up that discussion and really like putting a point on that for artists to pay attention. There's like a lot of us, it's like to get into a gallery, you don't give a shit where it is. Like, I'm in a gallery, let's do this. Like, you know, but thinking about like, where do my ripples go? Where does my experience echo out to?
It matters.
Yeah. And then the kind of the last, I'm doing a bunch of different projects. I'm interviewing pagans across the United States and interviewing them and photographing them to discuss paganism in America, especially because of the like Insta-witch thing that's going around where like paganism is really kind of blooming. again, which is fucking awesome, like hell yeah. But like there's this like, oh, it's this new thing, and I'm like, honey, no. And like I want to bring some dialogue to like paganism has been here as long as people have been here.
It gets so
like,
commercialized too.
yeah, and just like having, and so I've been just interviewing people and having them like discuss sort of their own spiritual experience. So I've been working on that as a project, and then the tarot deck, which you all saw that I was working on, and then I'm working on a children's book, which is just not my photography, but drawings and words and.
Let us know when the tarot's out and like where
yeah.
you're selling.
And working on it. And then like the last kind of big thing, I'm dyslexic and never thought of myself as like a words person. And when my life kind of like in 2020 and I moved into an RV and started traveling, I had way more feelings than fit. And so I started writing, and I started writing a lot of poetry as a way to like fit some of that into a thing. I'm gonna read a thing if y'all don't mind. As my like
To get it on paper instead of inside your brain.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, gotta get some of the feels out.
Yeah, it's out. Yeah.
So I was gonna read a thing, and then that's kind of okay. Whatever. This is so frustrating because when it comes to photography, I'm like, this is what I do, and I'm fucking awesome, and you should like my art because I've been doing this forever. And then when it comes to my poetry, I'm like, I'm like, you write words, Dylan.
Yeah, it's like the words have to speak for themselves. You know?
It's just I have a lot less practice like sharing it with people, so I'm way less confident about it. I'm trying to like, it's art, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
It's already 11.
No,
No.
mine is an hour ahead.
No.
It's still on East Coast time.
It always throws me off. Those are the stones.
So this is, suddenly there were new flowers blooming in a garden that I hadn't planted. Stubborn weeds of love. Cornflower and dandelions of love, fetch and foxglove and lupine of love, flowers so stubborn that they push through the concrete to meet the sun everywhere I look, seem to be creeping in the windows like kudzu, climbing into the closets and tangling in my clothes. This was not fragile, elegant, tenuous love. This was tenacious, recalcitrant love. This was the kind of love that didn't give a shit what I had to do that day. This was love with a lawn chair, settled down in the front yard with beer and pretzels, ready to wait out my arduous attempts to ignore it. Don't you see I had to keep you at a distance? Because if you had stood too close, you might have seen the lilac tree that was breaking through my skin and blooming. You might have noticed the rose petals and fall leaves falling out of my winter coat, and the wildflowers under my skirt, and the foxes and doves in the hair, and the ivy and mistletoe clinging to my collar, and the wild roses that put runners in my stockings. My love is too big and too much and too wild, and it doesn't all fit, not inside me, and certainly not in that dress. My love spilled out like a night in the Appalachia wilds, cacophonous and untamed. My love may not be pretty, but it sure as hell is persistent. I tried to barricade my door against it, and love fell down my chimney, tumbling into the ashes of the cold hearth. Love lit a fire there. Love lit candles in every room of the small place I call my home. Love banged into the beehives and startled the goats and upset the guinea hens. Good grief, love, could you keep it down a bit? But love didn't care. Now love never seems to care. Love spun out stories using threads. Love wrote out the words to the lines of a cobweb. Do not let fear be your guide. Love wrote long poems to you in the soot on the kettle. Once upon a time, and follow me into the pines, and please, and thank you, and wish, and silver, and bone. Love sang a song of cicadas and bells, and the creak of old dead branches, singing of long days with fingers intertwined, and long nights with bodies intertwined. Love didn't seem to care how short the lines. Life is short, and you, my dear, feel so big. So let it fly, cried love, throwing every window open and spilling out the blackbirds and the cicadas into the night, screeching their joy to be free. Love reached up and grabbed the clouds and shook out a thunderclap, and after a year of silent still morning, the windows of my heart were thrown open to air out the blankets, and every rafter shook, and standing in the middle of all of it was love. Suddenly everything stopped, and my body echoed with the sound and movement, and after a long, still moment of silence, standing in the house of my heart, with my love breathing hard and shaking, love leaned in close and asked me to trust again. Yes, love. Yes.
Long. That's the only problem with all my poetry. It's like big feelings.
This is amazing.
Ooh, it is me.
You're so good at the
These, yeah.
elocution. This is great.
My love
Let me see.
It's us. I love that.
Yeah, that is just stunning.
I love that one.
Yeah.
Did you guys not see all of them?
I didn't see some of these.
That's why we've been waiting. We've been waiting.
I sent you like the highlight reel. I didn't realize I hadn't sent the whole thing over.
Yeah.
Awesome. That was sick. So powerful.
The cowboy, the
Cowboy
the
photos.
fringe.
I fucking
and
love the cowboy
yes.
shot.
Love it. Oh my god. Beautiful.
I love those.
Ephemeral. Oh.
I think that's my
So
favorite of me
nice.
so far. Yeah.
Mhm. I think so too. Oh, I like your hand there.